Well, they've turned my mics back on. Thank you very much. This is Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of the show, also CEO, chairman of MAGE LLC, management consulting firm working with leadership and organizational improvement and success. This show is the In the Weeds segments on Radio Entrepreneurs. That means to my right is the one, the only, the indomitable Walter Sullivan.
And my mic is always on, Jeffrey.
Yeah, well,
a lot more is on than that.
But your mic is drooping.
I won't go without. Never mind. We'll keep this conversation clean.
Okay, our next guest. Here we go. Crank it up. Paul Lunn, director, and Matt Parziale, senior advisor, NFP. I know NFP. I just heard about NFP this week in a meeting.
Oh, really? You did?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Viva Sapers.
Okay.
Yeah, she was talking about NFP with me. So, Sapers and Wallach.
You're going to love these guys' backgrounds, too.
Don't forget to get into the mic, guys. We're making you share it for this segment. No more talking from back there. Or Walter will have to do all the talking.
You both had your flu shots, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about sharing.
A couple months.
So, Matt and Paul, tell us about, what you're doing.
Yeah, so
That relates to cannabis.
yeah, exactly. That's why we're here. So we're brokers for
Right.
insurance, employee benefits, property and casualty, retirement, and this is new to me. Paul's been here for 13 years, and this is new.
Insurance or the cannabis?
Insurance is more new than cannabis.
Had to
So
bring it up, Jeffrey.
So when I started in this industry, I found this niche, and I've invested in some companies with my dad, and I've really enjoyed the way this has grown throughout the country and what they're doing with it. So I started going after companies locally because our company is set up for cannabis. They started in California and set up for really everywhere, but now we're bringing that expertise to Massachusetts.
What have you found, because you sell, why don't you explain exactly all the products you offer?
Yeah, so the way NFP got into cannabis was more on the commercial risk side, and we have an expert in California, Scott Foster, who's been in the industry for 10 years. He started in life science, so it kind of relates to the same kind of risk and same kind of the way he was more in like medicines, and so the way cannabis is going, it's also medicines, and that's the way they're using it. So being able to bring him in, he has 200 clients all over the country. Curaleaf, which is local, is his biggest one. They're huge. And we also do the employee benefits for Curaleaf too. So he brought in our team for that. So even though we're the same company, we have different experts.
So not every insurance agency can handle this stuff?
No, we're one of the few. They're getting more, but Scott has such close relationships with the two biggest carriers.
Right.
Where he's able to, he can get things done very quickly when other brokers aren't able to
Since
get
cannabis
that
isn't national, is it hard to get policies?
It is, and that's the reason why we have to bring in someone from California you can get a policy, but it's maybe not, it's not the way it's
You
supposed
can't
to
get
be.
in the regular market.
Yeah, so like one of his first, Scott has a great story. One of his first clients, they were selling vape pens, and the policy excluded vape pens. He came in after because the local broker just wrote the policy of whatever, and it says exclusion of vape pens, and one exploded, and it was not a good claim, or it was a bad problem to have.
So, Matt, what's your background?
No, Paul.
Paul. Right, sorry.
So
We were doing blunt earlier.
It's because my sheet is
Your
written
sheet.
opposite
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the way you're sitting.
So I started I really oversee the healthcare side of the house. So working with everything from employee benefits relating to medical, dental, ancillary coverage. So really coming in after the property and casualty has been put in place. And the interesting thing, it's very similar because at least on the ancillary side, there's really only certain carriers that are looking to get into the cannabis space. As Matt alluded to, more and more are getting into that space. But it's important to really understand, the demographic of the buyer as it relates to who are their employees, who are they trying to retain, who are they trying to attract, and building a program based around that.
And there aren't many companies doing this for the cannabis businesses.
No, there's not a lot that just say, hey, we have a specific team inside of NFP that works on our cannabis clients.
And like any other type of employer, these are important things that new employees are looking for.
Correct. It's a key part of retaining and attracting new talent, specifically specialized people. There's specialized people that work in some of these places that, it's really important to have these programs in place to keep those people on board.
And the law requires you to provide some of these benefits, especially the health side.
Correct.
No, Jeffrey, I wanted to get a little background on Matt. Matt, why don't you tell Jeff about your background?
Yeah, so before I was in the insurance space, I was a firefighter for 5 years in Brockton. And the reason I made the switch is I had some success in golf that opened some doors. And I'm still on leave from the fire department, but it would have been stupid for me not to pursue these other opportunities. And so I won the U.S. Mid-Am in 2017. It's an amateur golf tournament for anyone over 25. Which that gets you an invitation to the Masters and an exemption to the U.S. Open. So I've had a pretty good, fun 2 years playing a lot of golf all over the country. I played with Tiger Woods at the Masters in a practice round. I played with Rory in a practice round. I was low amateur at the U.S. Open in 2018. So it's been a fun ride, and it's helped the business. And I think that's the reason why I like this industry is I'm using my golf to make friends, make clients, and it's also in the cannabis space too. So yeah, it's been fun.
And I think
ride.
you have understanding of the product as well.
Yeah, no, yeah. So this is actually a funny story. Is I never really smoked marijuana or did anything. High school, college, I mean, maybe a dozen times. Like it wasn't a thing for me. And then when I was a firefighter and it became legal, I started doing it because I couldn't sleep at night. We'd work 24-hour shifts and we'd be up all night, and the next night I couldn't sleep. So when it became legal, I started doing it. Lemonade I found down in Plymouth, and it changed my life. Where I was able to get through the night, I felt relaxed the next morning. I had patience.
You were drinking lemonade with?
Drinking. It was THC infused lemonade.
Wow.
So it got me through the night, and I had patience again because before I'd just be tired.
Well, especially in the
and
job you were in, it's it's
Exactly,
very
right,
important that
right.
that you have all your faculties.
Yes, and the station I was working at were the busiest two-piece station in the country. Two-piece means 2 trucks. Mm-hmm. So the heavy rescue we had was the busiest, and the ladder that I was on was the 7th busiest. So we were straight out. We were doing 20 plus calls a day. Not all fires, obviously. We did medical and car accidents and pretty much everything. So it's been it's a fun job. I loved it. My dad was a firefighter for 32 years. He just retired 3 years ago. So it's kind of in the family.
And now he's selling insurance
Yeah.
and risk management.
Yeah, but you would understand it because you've lived it. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you understand cannabis, you understand risk, you understand the need to protect yourself from risk.
Yeah.
So I would say actually you have practical experience where a lot of people don't have practical experience.
For sure, and that's why I like the industry.
You lived all sides of it.
What have you found with the cannabis industry, understanding what you offer, or their lack of understanding of looking at these type of benefits?
Yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing where you bring in Scott, who sees it all. Insurance is insurance. You're just trying to protect yourself. But if it's the wrong protection, then that's where you have the problem. And when you get it from your local broker who doesn't have the market experience as Scott does, that's where you run into problems. And you have everyone that Scott's looked at since we started, he goes through the whole thing, sees it all, and he's like, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So
And each industry is different.
Absolutely, right. That's why our company, NFP, not only cannabis, we have experts in every industry, aviation, trucking, you name it, we pretty much have an expert there.
Go to insurance guy that sells just to car dealerships, doesn't understand the business.
Exactly.
And I think on my side too, when we've gone into these cannabis companies, we found, from a healthcare and a dental perspective, they're putting plans in place, but not really putting a lot of thought into it. So they're saying, all right, we picked a plan, we got a plan, but they're not really educating their population on it, not educating the population on healthcare and how to be a smart consumer. And that's just as important as the plan, because if you don't know how to navigate your healthcare plan, you're kind of lost. We all think about, you mentioned car dealerships, think about the amount of work we do on the front end before we go and purchase a vehicle. Well, sometimes, we don't put any of that same thought into things when we go for an MRI or a surgery or anything like that. So that's something we try to bring to the table as well. We help the employer have a strong plan, but we try to help the employees understand their health plan, so that way when something happens and they are sick, they're not kind of stuck trying to figure out what to do or where to go.
And in the long run, the employer gets some much better employees and better costs.
Because you're building a culture around your benefits. You're not just passing out a piece of paper from an insurance carrier saying, here's your plan. We'll build some nice, communication pieces that we give out, and it helps kind of change and helps an organization, specifically a smaller one, build a culture around their benefit program, not just say, well, yeah, we have it.
Matt and Paul, great introduction to Radio Entrepreneurs. We hope you come back again. Thanks to Walter Sullivan for setting all this up. If someone's looking for the two of you and getting some assistance in this category, no golf lessons, how would they find you?
You'll take the golf lessons.
We can definitely do the golf lessons too, but no, we can give our emails. Well, that's probably hard to. It's matt.parziale@nfp.com.
Parziale.
That's correct.
Right.
Paul's much easier.
Mine's a lot easier. It's paul.lunn, Lunn, at nfp.com.
It would be more consistent if it was Paul Lunzielli. We'd have two similar names. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm sure that wasn't always the name, but it was a long time ago before we changed it. And also, my co-host Walter Sullivan. If someone's looking for you, Walter, Mr. Cannabis, King
You can
Cannabis.
go to waltersullivanlaw.com, and we got rid of the O prior to coming here.
Okay, but you are the king of cannabis.
I'm the king of something.
Well, and my name again, I'd say it again, Jeffrey Davis. We're signing off. We'll be back with more stories after this break.